Classic players, we haven't forgotten about you. You could probably guess where we're gonna go next. One of the all-time favorite expansions for World of Warcraft. Let's watch the cinematic.
Did you think we had nothing more? Just begun. Not my king yet.
How good does this look so far? This is an expansion we've already played. This looks
My
nice.
son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas. When my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
I cannot wait to play this expansion.
It's just incredible, isn't it? Every time I see the cinematic, I get chills. No pun intended, I get chills. As you saw, Wrath of the Lich King Classic is coming this year. It brings back so many memories.
This year, you say? I cannot wait. It just so happens. So I started playing World of Warcraft when BC got released, so 16, 17 years ago. I didn't really do endgame content in Burning Crusade because I leveled up my Warlock, and it took me all of Burning Crusade to level up the Warlock. I hit max level right before Wrath of the Lich King comes out, and Wrath of the Lich King was like my first real expansion of endgame content, and I really went all out with that expansion. I was in a top 25 guild in Naxxramas and Fat Raids here, which included like I, Vault, and OS. I'm just going to speak specifically about the tier raids though, ignoring Onyxia, Vault, post first tier bosses, and Ruby Sanctum and stuff like that. So the next raid we had, I believe was Ulduar after Naxxramas. We were in a top 10 guild. Then I was in, for Trial, I was in a top 5 guild. And it was the same guild all the way through those first 3 tiers. And then IceCon came. I changed guilds because that guild decided to just do 10-man because we were raiding 7 nights a week. So it was just too much for them. But I wanted to keep it going. I was young at this time, so I had the time to do it. So I wanted to keep going, and I was in a top 3 guild on... for IceCon Citadel, and we were second. Top 3 guild, but second to get the meta achievement. So when I got the fucking meta achievement, my mind was losing it. So Wrath of the Lich King was my first and only expansion where I really did endgame content, and after the Wrath of the Lich King experience, it was just too much, so I ended up doing like 3 and 4 day a week raid guilds. But actually, that guild that I ended with IceCon Citadel, going into Cataclysm, we stayed together, but we definitely slowed it down. And look at me now. I'm not even in a guild because it's just too much nowadays. But I absolutely loved it. And as you can see now, Classic when that came out, I only got to level 35 and gave up. So there it is. And look at Burning Crusade. It's gonna take me all of Burning Crusade Classic to level up my levels, my Warlock, all the way to level 70. Currently sitting at 65. So the exact same thing that happened. History repeats itself. So let's see. Wrath of the Lich King. What's gonna happen?
When you see that cinematic, what do you remember from Wrath of the Lich King?
Anytime you want to talk about undead frozen dragons, how can you not go back to Sindragosa as the source? That was the first expansion I played with my youngest son. So I can remember on that platform, black goo and chunks of ice falling off and having to repeat that battle with the Lich King. But when we finally downed him, It was such an incredible moment. He jumped up out of his room and I jumped up out of my office. We're like, yeah, did it. So it's a very lasting tale for me.
So as you know, with this expansion, you will, in pre-patch, be able to play the Death Knight. They will start at level 55. You don't have to have a high-level character to make a Death Knight, so everyone will be able to make one.
We're excited to give players some time before Wrath officially launches to get geared up and ready to jump into Northrend with everybody else.
And there are so many zones and areas to explore in Northrend, and I want us to talk about some of our favorites. So for me, Grizzly Hills has a very special place in my heart. The music was some of the
I was about to say the music is the best in every zone in World of Warcraft. Even to this date, Grizzly Hills is the most beautiful music ever, and I never quested in that zone once, except for like Children's Day stuff. But never actually quested in that zone once. All this time, best music ever. Flying past it, love it.
the best I've experienced in World of Warcraft.
I still make my way all the way up to Storm Peaks to try and find the time-lost Protodrake and have yet to get it.
I've got to say Dragonblight. The wide open nature of the zone, Wormrest Temple in the center of it, it's an unforgettable expansion as both a developer and a player, and kind of making that transition from one to the other.
Now let's talk about some changes. So one thing we looked at is Dungeon Finder, and it feels like how we envision Classic, Dungeon Finder is not a good fit for our community.
That was kind of the first step that may have eroded some of that social fabric. Now, as people have gone through the experience of going back to vanilla, rebuilding those groups, relying on each other, not wanting necessarily a random participant just to show up and then leave.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
But today, you can do that in Shadowlands. You'll be able to do that in Dragonflight. It's a self-selected group of people who specifically want that different experience.
Yes.
Let's make sure that's what we continue to give them.
That leads right into arena teams in Burning Crusade Classic. So we listen to the community and we remove that because individual rating is preferable and a better experience for them than arena teams. Also, with Wrath of the Lich King, Barbershop, which allows you to customize your character. We're going to be adding a few more options that were not existing when Wrath launched, but also there's another side of this where we are not going to charge a real money fee. It was a paid character customization fee, right?
Yeah.
It seems the right thing to do that just be available in game for gold and we add more options to it, right?
It's sort of like spell batching in a sense. There's a lot of technical advancements, and it's not about the philosophy of what makes Classic classic and what brings people together. It's just what's the better experience, and let's not artificially restrict something that we can provide.
I forgot about character customization. Like, Barbershop used to cost money. I forgot about that shit.
Better version of just for the sake of nostalgia, and we're happy to say this is one of those cases.
So Wrath, the level cap's being increased to level 80, so we'll be introducing a level 70 boost so that players who want to get in with their friends or just explore Northrend right away will be able to do that. You can't apply it to a Death Knight, but you will be able to use it otherwise. And of course, we have Inscription, a whole new profession, so we're really excited about that. Yeah, and as we continue this road to Wrath, we're going to be looking to getting a lot more feedback on beta, and we'll make changes as we need to.
Such an exciting time to be playing World of Warcraft. We have the return of the Wrath of the Lich King for Classic fans, and taking us somewhere new with Dragonflight. We're so excited to be able to bring these adventures to you. Don't forget, there's a deep dive on Dragonflight where you're going to get a lot more information. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, and we'll see you in Azeroth.
And we'll see you in Northrend.
And in the Dragon Isles.